What is up, YouTube? My name is Rodney, and today I have to talk about the whole Logan Paul Coffeezilla situation. Now, this is coming right after Logan Paul deleted his response video to Coffeezilla, because what I've been noticing lately is that a lot of people have been commenting on my posts and videos I've made about the situation and supporting Logan Paul. And I do believe if Logan Paul didn't make these two mistakes in his response video, I think he would have way more support from everybody else. And I don't think he would have got ratioed quite as bad, because I don't think Coffeezilla is a saint. I don't think he's this know-it-all that knows everything. I just think he's a very talented YouTuber, top 5 in my opinion, who does his due diligence and who's very entertaining. And if you look at where Coffeezilla was, years, like 3 years ago to now, like, man, his content is absolutely fantastic. But I don't think he's correct all the time. And we all know what Coffeezilla is doing, just like every other YouTuber, right? He's trying to get views and grow his brand. And he found his niche and he's killing it in his niche. So I don't think Coffeezilla's this sane. I want to get that out of the way, right? I think Logan Paul's an excellent businessman. I think Coffeezilla's an excellent businessman. They just do two different things. Now, Coffeezilla's supposed to make some sort of a response video to Logan Paul's response. So that would mean this would be the 4th video in this whole Logan Paul crypto zoo, crypto pets saga, but it still hasn't come out yet, and it's like 5:30 p.m. PST, so we'll see if it comes out. Now, there are two crucial things that Logan Paul skipped over in his response video that really would have garnered him a lot of support. Now, the first thing is that he should have taken responsibility for the people he hired to run his project. Now, in that video, he knocked Coffeezilla for not doing adequate research on one of the developers for the team and saying that this guy had a criminal history and those sort of things. It's like, Logan Paul, you hired those guys. One of those guys, the Ibanez guy, right? I think it's Eddie Ibanez, the guy who pretty much, fooled a bunch of people saying he was in the CIA, that he went to MIT and those sorts of things. I understand that, like getting duped by that guy, fine. But the rest of the team, like the Crypto King guy and everybody else, you should have taken responsibility as the person who is the face of this project and say, I messed up hiring guys that were bad people and I didn't do my due diligence. I take responsibility. I am sorry. If you would have said that, right, that would have changed the perception from the public, right? Because maybe legally, Logan Paul's not in trouble, but in the court of public opinion, a lot of people don't like him right now, and his brand is all about being in the public eye. So he has to be very careful about how he proceeds, with this whole situation further. And I believe that's why he deleted the video. We'll see if that helps him or not. The second thing he did wrong was threaten to sue Coffeezilla. Guys, if you're a YouTuber, right, a person or that is perceived to be bigger, right, than another person in our world, right, maybe have more money, resources, status, fame, and you go after a person who is perceived to be the little guy, which is Coffeezilla, although, Coffeezilla has a pretty big platform, Logan Paul is way more popular than Coffeezilla, right? We know that Logan Paul is probably much more wealthier than Coffeezilla. We don't know for sure, but I mean, one can assume, right? Logan Paul is absolutely killing it. And it just looks like a bully situation, a David versus Goliath situation. And that's not good for Logan Paul, because people rally behind Coffeezilla. And it's like, Logan Paul throughout that whole video is like pretty much threatening to sue him, like with veiled threats. And at the end, he pretty much says, yeah, you better get a good lawyer, from all that money you're making from your Patreon, to defend yourself. And look, all Coffeezilla has to do is put up a GoFundMe, and he's going to have enough money to fight Logan Paul in court till the end of time, because people will support Coffeezilla. So those are the two critical mistakes, in my opinion, that Logan Paul made. He took no responsibility for anything, and he threatened to sue Coffeezilla. And here's the situation, right? Now, I think that the project was abandoned. That's what I think. But if this goes to court, if someone else looks at this, technically, Logan Paul and his manager did not sell, right? And they never announced that the project was abandoned. Now, it seems like that I think it was abandoned. I'm using my best judgment. I think he abandoned the project, but on paper, he didn't. He could just say that, we're reorganizing the team, right? Or something like that. We were taking a break or something like that. The economy was bad, so we wanted to give us whatever, right? But he can say, I wasn't abandoning the project. Coffeezilla, why are you calling me a scammer when I never abandoned the project? So technically, Logan Paul isn't wrong there. And a lot of people do see that side of the argument. Now, like I said, I think he was going to abandon it. But, when it goes to court and someone looks at this, I'm pretty sure, right? I'm pretty sure Logan Paul is going to win this argument because he didn't sell. The people around him, right? They sold. Now we can see from the little group chat, right? Because their group chat was exposed, and I'll talk about at the end of this video why that's so important. We could see that it seems like Crypto King and other people, they just ripped off Logan Paul, you know? And I mean, what can you do? If you're doing something shady, like in a group of people, like say if you rob a bank, or remember the movie The Dark Knight, right? In the beginning where the Joker is robbing the bank, right? And, you know, he ends up killing everybody else. So he gets a larger size of the money, right? Or larger sum of the money they robbed at the bank. It's like, who are you going to call? The cops, right? Oh, that guy shot my friend. You know, it's like you're all committing a crime. So in that situation, it's like, you know, sometimes a scammer gets scammed, right? So, you know, those guys really did, you know, walk away from the project in a bad way, right? And Crypto King allegedly got $6 million. So that also looks good for Logan Paul if this goes to some sort of court, because he never sold, and it looks like he got wrecked by those guys. So very, very interesting. Now, I want to talk about Coffeezilla for a second, because Coffeezilla is in a particular spot, right? Coffeezilla, you know, spent the last year or so, or year and a half, dunking on cryptocurrency. I'm a crypto bro. My channel's all cryptocurrency. I understand how this space is. 99% of projects are going to fail. I mean, technically, they're just a bunch of tech companies that are using the blockchain to get around some of these, you know, securities laws and some of the regulations one would have to follow if they went public with their business. Well, if you use the blockchain, right? Any group of people who are good at like speaking or marketing, maybe have a good amount of money somewhere that they could, you know, promote a project. You can make some good money in cryptocurrency if you go about it the right way. So a lot of people get into crypto to scam people or to start a business, right? Because one would say it's easier, right? You don't need, you know, a business loan to launch a contract. You really don't, right? But there's a lot of bad actors in crypto, but there's also a lot of good people in crypto, and it's hard to tell exactly who's good and who's bad, because, you know, you meet some of these developers and some of them seem like they really want to change the space or add value to the space. But unfortunately, in any sort of business venture or businesses in general, most businesses fail. And that's not, you know, that applies to people in cryptocurrency too. So yeah, there are a lot of scams out there, but there's also a lot of people who want to do good in this space, who want to build something in this space. So I don't think, you know, going around and calling everybody a scammer and a scam is the right thing to do, especially, you know, during these hard times where a lot of cryptocurrency products are going under because of the market conditions, right? But Coffeezilla has been pretty much, you know, doing his thing, and, you know, for the last year and a half, and dunking on many different cryptocurrency projects as he does. Now, Coffeezilla famously doesn't take any sponsors, because, you know, he doesn't like to do that. But right now he really couldn't if he wanted to, right? I don't think that Coffeezilla handled the FTX situation the correct way. Pretty much shaming all the influencers that promoted FTX. It's like a lot of people thought that was a layup. I mean, even according to, you know, some of the metrics that are used in cryptocurrency to weigh whether or not an exchange is good or not, like FTX exchange, Binance, Coinbase, all those exchanges, FTX was ranked number 2 in exchange score. And this is from a ranking system that is put out by the number 1 exchange in the space, which is Binance, and their competitors. One would argue that the reason why FTX went under was because Binance kind of started that catalyst. I won't get into that right now, or was the catalyst for that. I won't get into that right now, but even they ranked them number 2, and they were competitors, right? So I don't think blaming FTX influencers and you know, holier than thou and floating above everyone and walking on water Jesus type deal is the way to go about that situation. But that's where he went, and a lot of people were hating on FTX influencers, and I didn't think that was very warranted. But Coffeezilla's in a spot where he can't take sponsorships, because if he does, and even if it's not a cryptocurrency sponsorship, what if it's just a business that goes under, right? What if he promotes a business that wants to pay him money, like Manscaped, or what is it? What are those earbuds called that everyone talks about? The Ray J ones, Raycon ones. What if those go under? Are you going to blame all those influencers? Are you going to call them scammers because a business went under? It just seems a little ridiculous to me and a little holier than thou. But I still do like Coffeezilla. It just gets a little crazy sometimes. It's like he's at a point where, you know, his community pretty much has a metaphorical gun to his head, and if he does anything wrong, or maybe he does something wrong in his personal life and it gets exposed, it's like, well, you're kind of screwed, because you're acting like the saint and the detective of this space. You know what I mean? Like I said, he's an excellent YouTuber. He's top 5 of all time, but we know what he's doing. Like when Logan Paul calls out Coffeezilla, for wanting to go on his show or making videos about Logan Paul for clout, he's 100% correct. There have been way more devastating cryptocurrency projects that wrecked people way more than CryptoPets and CryptoZoo did in this space. And Coffeezilla knows about him, but he hasn't made videos on those because it is about the reach he can get, right? Which if you make a video about Logan Paul and his failed project, you're going to get, in calling him a scammer, you're going to get so many views. And the CryptoZoo and CryptoPets, whatever they call it now, that if it didn't rug yet, right? That's what Logan Paul's arguing, right? Even if it did rug, it wouldn't even be close to some of the crypto scam projects that have rugged people in this space and no one's talking about right now because it's not, popular to talk about it. So we know that Coffeezilla is targeting Logan Paul because he's Logan Paul. I mean, look who Logan Paul is, you know what I mean? Now, the reason why I think that I think, in my heart of hearts, that Logan Paul started this project. They wanted to make a quick buck off of it because cryptocurrency was pumping and then abandoned it later. And why the reason why I think they planned on doing that was because of the group text, right? That group text that was exposed by Coffeezilla. It just seemed the way they were talking like, hey, man, let's launch a token. Let's get in before everybody else. Let's get our friends and family in before everybody else. We'll announce it to the public and then we can slowly sell over time and everyone else could be exit liquidity. Now, who knows if the project was going to be successful? Who knows if this was going to be the next best NFT project ever, right? I'm sure when Logan Paul continues this project, it's going to get a lot of people buying into it just because we're all degenerates in this space. But I do think that they were kind of sneaky and conniving and they did want to get in on this project before anybody else. So then the people, their community would be exit liquidity for them. And that's what I believe, man. I don't know, right? Logan Paul is going to argue that wasn't the case, but that's what I think was going to happen. And I think that really why I'm on the side more of Coffeezilla is because of the fact that I know they're plotting and scheming. It's just that Crypto King and that Eddie Ibanez guy got to and the other guy were able to pull their money out before he did. And luckily for Logan Paul, that he didn't sell anything, or his manager, or they would probably be in a lot of trouble. But since they didn't do that, and since technically the project hasn't been abandoned, they may have a case for defamation. We'll see. These court battles are always ugly. No one likes it. I mean, Coffeezilla is going to have an endless amount of money because the community is going to support him in this case, and I think they should. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm interested to hear your opinion. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.